right. Well, welcome back, everyone. We are excited about this next presentation. I know it's been a long day one of our career fair, and I'm super excited about our next speaker. I've been excited about all of them. Blake, have you been excited about all of them?
Oh yeah. I mean,
Well,
it's been really cool, very unique this year, and it's been a lot of fun.
and this next individual is Sandy Sanchez Ellis. So I knew her as Sandy Sanchez. So that's kind of like new to me, but she was a very long time family friend. In fact, she was a friend of my father's. And so I know a lot of you were interested in the pet industry. So I was pleasantly surprised, and it kind of makes sense when I heard that well, not surprised, but I was excited to hear what Sandy's doing. I don't want to steal her thunder. I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to hand the baton off to you, Sandy, and you can share with our student community what it is you do in the pet industry.
Okay, that sounds good. Hi, everyone. I am Sandy Sanchez Ellis. I'm so excited to be here with you guys and reconnect with my longtime friend Jonathan and meet Blake. This has been great. And I'm excited to tell you a little bit more about Fetch Pet Care Monrovia, West Covina. I am the owner and operator of Fetch Pet Care, and I would love to jump in and tell you a little bit more of what that looks like and how I got into the pet industry and then I got a pet industry at a glance for you guys. And then I would love, love, love nothing more than for you guys to type in some questions. And I would love to take the rest of the time answering your questions because this is about you and I want to be able to be as resourceful as possible. So with that said, Blake, is it okay if I can share my screen?
Yeah, absolutely.
So Fetch Pet Care Monrovia, our tagline is "We love them like you do." And who am I? I am Sandy Sanchez Ellis. I'm an entrepreneurial, a leader, a mom, and I'm a proud minority women-owned business owner. This is a glance at a little bit of what that means when I tell you I'm an entrepreneurial mom. I am a mom of three. I have 6-year-old twins, Sean and Arya. I have an 11-year-old and my husband of 10 years. And of course, my family is not complete without highlighting this adorable 60-pound Aussie doodle, Koa. And he has been in our family for almost 5 years. And he is one of the joys of my life. He's also my employee here. He's kind of my business partner. So love him. He is also impeccably trained, you guys. Like if you meet my dog in person, you will be blown away. I can take him through a busy farmer's market full of people, take off his leash, and he will stay right by my thigh the entire time without a treat. He's so connected to me, and we're just have such a strong bond. He's just impeccably trained, and I can ask him to sit handsome for you guys, and he will strike a pose and wait for a picture. So that's Koa. And then this picture of these beautiful ladies here are all my leaders. So I am a proud business owner of a management team that consists of all females. Nothing against male, but it's very unique to have an all female driven leadership team. So these are my leaders. So it ranges from my assistant general manager, my marketing manager, my team manager, and then my safety training manager. So my team is literally led by all women. So I do have a lot of amazing men on my team as well, though. What is Fetch Pet Care Monrovia, West Covina? We are a pet wellness company that provides trusted care for pets when their owners are at work, traveling, or unavailable. How many of you own a pet? Just tap a high five or one of those fun emojis on there. And then if so, have you ever had to hire a pet sitter or dog walker or a trainer? So I my business pretty much focuses on the wellness of your pets. And the pets that we service can range. So we, of course, have the dogs and the cats and the birds and the fish. We've only had a couple of pet snakes, but I think my favorite is one of our pets is a pig. We service a 90-pound pet pig. Her name is Truffles. She is our sassy girl, and she gets walked twice a week by my team. So yes, if you ever are walking through Monrovia, California, you will probably see Truffles being walked by one of my fetch pet care professionals. And we offer everything from dog walking, pet sitting, dog training, pack walks, and pet taxi. And I could probably call it out now. Some people are like, what in the world is pet taxi? It's kind of like the Uber for pets. So if you have, if you're busy at work, if your family's busy at work and your dog needs to get to a veterinarian appointment or a groomer and can't get away from work, our team will come in, pick up your dog, securely get them to their appointment, and then get them back home. So the Uber for dogs. So I wanted to give y'all just a glance at the pet industry. It is definitely a booming industry. So just give me a guess. John and Blake, you could participate as well. What do you think the pet industry is worth right now? Anybody?
I mean, like annually or
Yep, annually. How much million or billion dollar industry do you think it is?
300 billion, 500 billion?
That's good, really good. So the pet industry is 152 billion it's actually 2024. I forgot to change the 2024. I updated it. So 152 billion in sales in 2024. That is a huge number for the pet industry. 66% of US households, approximately 86.9 million homes own a pet. And then the global market projection is it will get to 300 billion by 2030. Guys, that is insane if you think about like how much money is going into these animals. And that can look a variety of ways, whether it's vet, pet care, grooming, pet wellness services like I serve. But $152 billion. So, which gets me so excited about the next slide, which is why choose a career in the pet industry? Because it's a growing industry. It's incredible how huge the pet industry is right now. So some of the benefits of working with pets are it's a strong market growth and it ensures job stability. It also provides a diverse career path catering to various interests and skill sets. And then opportunities for entrepreneurship and innovation. And then a fulfilling work contributing to the well-being of animals and their owners. How many people do not love pets? So it's a really, really fulfilling industry to be in. But I would love to share my story real quick on why I chose a career in the pet industry. I actually started my career during COVID. Who remembers COVID, our lockdown? And how many people got a pet during COVID? So many people got pets during COVID, and I was working a really intense software sales corporate job, and I was just burning out. I had 2-year-old twins at home trying to do a corporate sales job, and it was just they had very little empathy for being a busy working mom during COVID and the stay-home orders. So during that time, I saw everyone was getting pets, and we got a pet. We got Koa during COVID, and then I realized once we started coming out of COVID, there was a major problem in the markets. Everybody got pets. And then as the orders were being lifted, what do you think happened? People didn't know what to do with their pets. They were like, okay, now I have to go back to the office. What am I going to do? And the shelters in all over LA started to get inundated with pets because they started getting returned because people didn't know what to do. So I saw a problem that needed a solution. So that is when I invested in buying Fetch Pet Care Monrovia, West Covina. I've always been one that loves solving problems and looking to build solution. And I saw a problem in the marketplace, and I love pets, and that's how I ended up getting into the pet industry. So a little crazy story, but I love it. I wouldn't change it for anything today. And it's really fulfilling what we do for our community. So there are so many career paths that you can take with the pet care industry, and that is the other exciting piece, because you don't have to just be pigeonholed into one niche. There's a variety of career paths you can take. There's animal care and service, and what falls under animal care is your pet sitters, your dog walkers, and then, of course, health and nutrition. And what falls into this bracket is pet dietitians and nutritionists. Yes, they exist. There's pet massage therapists now. There's wellness services in regards to nutrition and diet. There's training and behavior. This is so imperative. I tell everyone that gets a pet, and the best investment you can do is invest in the training and development of your puppy or your dog. And this is a growing industry, is the training and the dog training industry. Of course, business and retail, you can work at the pet stores, you can be stalker, but the great things about some of these pet care industries is they're so specialized that you end up getting so much experience working at Petco or PetSmart and learning about pet nutrition, so you can recommend best products. So, and that is just kind of a segue into other areas in the pet industry, which is great. And then, of course, my favorite is entrepreneurship. There's just so many opportunities in the pet industry for you to create your own path and your own journey. And that is one that I'm always encouraging. So, and then what kind of money you can make. I just did a career fair similar to this on Friday, and this was the number one question I got with a lot of the juniors and seniors. They're like, okay, yes, we love pets, we would love to work in the pet industry, but what kind of money can I make? And so I just wanted to give you a high level snapshot of what those salary ranges look like. Dog walkers, believe it or not, make anywhere from $20 to $40 an hour. Guys, this is amazing. And those entering college, if you do take the college route, is so great because you make your own schedule. The scheduling is so flexible, so highly encourage. And then the dog walking and pet sitting is kind of the entryway into the pet industry. So it's a great stepping stone into everything else. And then, of course, you got your pet groomers, your pet trainers make $80K plus. A lot of my trainers make, well, they do really well as a dog trainer. And then, of course, your veterinarian technician. And then your veterinarian, I think that's actually a low number, the 100 to 150K. The last I was looking, it was more upwards of 300,000 because veterinarians are in such demand. And then, of course, pet business ownership can vary. It can scale 6 to 7 figures. And then education and training. So dog walking and pet sitting, it's a great entry point into the pet industry. And it's a really, really easy industry to get into. Some important skills to have are reliability is key, communication, and then basic pet first aid. For my business, I hire based on values when I'm looking at hiring a pet professional, and I keep it really simple. I keep it to my 3 core values. Number 1 is high integrity. Number 2, strong communication. And number 3, love pets. If you can fulfill those 3 things, you're going to be a happy camper working for us, because we have an incredible culture and we just keep it so simple, because we believe we can train, we can guide you through building these skill sets to be the best pet professional. So, but we can't teach integrity or to be a great communicator. Those are things that we can kind of coach, is the pet training stuff of it. And then, of course, the certification is not mandatory at all, but there is websites like Pet Sitters International or NAPPS if you're interested in getting some certifications. If you want to start doing some neighborhood dog walking and pet sitting, highly recommend getting certification and an insurance. I know that's probably not what everyone wants to hear, but working with animals is definitely a liability and a risk. So if that's a journey that you want to take, I encourage you to take it very serious by getting yourself insured. And some places it's like $20 a month or $15 a month to get you some basic insurance to cover you with working with animals. A dog trainer, no degree is required, but certification is highly, highly recommended. And that's where you build a lot of your credibility, is by showcasing some of those certifications that you get. I listed a couple here, but patience is a number 1 key driving skill for being a dog trainer. So if you're a very, very good patient person, dog training could be right up your alley. Of course, pet groomer, if you love getting creative with having our pets look adorable, then this could be definitely an option. And trade school or apprenticeship programs are always available for pet groomers. And then you do go through a certification program through some of these that I've listed here below. And then the pet groomers, there is a very strong demand in all of the urban areas and luxury markets. And then, of course, you have your veterinarian technician, which I feel is an industry that is always hiring. People are always looking for vet techs, and it's pretty easy to kind of go through the program and do your exams. So vet tech is an option. And then, of course, you have your veterinarian roles, which require a doctorate in veterinarian medicine. So that's a little bit on the education and training piece. My final thoughts are, the pet industry is more than cute puppies. It's a billion-dollar industry full of potential. The best analogy I would like to paint is an ice cream truck. You know, an ice cream truck has a variety of flavors and taste, and people don't always prefer chocolate. Some people don't always prefer strawberry or vanilla, or some people only prefer gluten-free or dairy-free, and some sparkles, no sparkles, cone, no cone, cup. There's just so many varieties out there, and the pet industry is very similar. But what's most important is finding your niche in your community or in the area that you live in, or finding your niche, finding a problem to solve, and really becoming really great at that is the best encouragement I can give with finding the direction that you can take in the pet industry. If you're a creator, a leader, problem solver, or an animal lover, there's a place for you here in the pet industry. And now it's time for you guys for Q&A.
My apologies. I was trying to find that unmute button and it just would not. Good. Thank you so much. What a thorough presentation. While we're kind of waiting for questions to see if they come in. Thank you so much for sharing and for taking time out of your busy schedule. You covered so much. A lot of our students who may have gone on the certificate of completion route, they are fascinated with pets. I think I was working with one student who has almost like a farm full of like horses and
oh my goodness, pets. I love it.
And I mean, you're familiar with the Central Valley, and they're just so interested. They're like, the traditional college route doesn't
Yeah.
work for me, but I love the pet industry. So, like a position like a dog walker. Um, so what would you recommend to that student who I could think of actually a few right now who
Yeah.
like this would be right up their alley. Would you recommend reaching out to their local dog walking company, or is Fetch a franchise that's throughout the US, or is it just more of a
Yes.
private focus? Like, what would you recommend for that student who wants, or that
Yeah,
alumni who wants that entry point into Fetch or into
definitely.
pet care?
So Fetch is a franchise. I bought in the franchise right out of COVID. I don't necessarily recommend franchise. That's definitely if I can do things differently, I would have started my own. Nonetheless, it's been an incredible experience, a learning experience. And I am in the works of building a Hawaii location that's not part of the franchise. It's my own startup that I'm building out in Hawaii. So yes, definitely encourage creating your own space. But in regards to experience, John, the first thing for those that do not have any experience and you are an animal lover, I highly, highly encourage you to spend some time going into the shelters and volunteering because you get so much hands-on training, free hands-on training through just volunteering at your local shelters. And they are always desperate for somebody to come in and help walk dogs and help bathe dogs and help. It's just incredible the opportunities that are there. To build out your skill sets as you're trying to figure it out. So that would be my first recommendation is try to get involved in the community and get some experience through the local shelters because you're also giving back, right? So that would be my first one. And then the second one, definitely look local dog walking companies. Go on Google My Business and find out. You can tell a lot about the business based on their Google reviews. If you go to Fetch Pet Care Monrovia, West Covina, you're going to see over 55 five-star reviews, no, not one negative. And then underneath, I have a 360 marketing tool that has over 500 five-star reviews of services my team has done. So that's a reflection of the kind of culture that you would step into. I encourage you do some research, find some of those high ranked companies, and then be persistent and show them that you have high integrity and good communication and you love animals and your eagerness to be reliable. And I can assure you, people are open, business owners are open to hiring you with no experience because we understand it has to start somewhere.
I don't see any more questions in the chat. I have a list of common questions that our students ask. Blake, did
Okay.
you want to ask anything? I have the list, so I always have questions. Go for it, Blake.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of my usual questions too, you answered in your incredible presentation already. I usually like to ask about skills that are required and things like that, which you've already covered and nailed,
Yeah.
which is really cool and it makes a lot of sense. I also love too that you mentioned. Just want to say with volunteering at the local shelters, I can attest to, especially here in the Central Valley. Like, unfortunately, there are a lot of our little furry friends that end up there. I've
They
seen
are.
some
Yeah.
I've unfortunately come to learn rather quickly since living in the Central Valley for the last 6 or so years, and so I know that there's a lot of opportunity and a lot of love to give there.
There
And
is.
I do love that. Kind of.
And then with just to piggyback off of that, Blake, unfortunately with the fires that just happened, all the shelters are completely inundated with so many animals that are in transition. And if there's any better time to get involved, it's right now. Those animals need the love and the support from people that are just going to come aside them and see them in this season of their journey because a lot of them have been ripped from their families and just waiting to get back reunited. And then the shelters need a lot of help right now, all through California. So definitely encourage it.
Absolutely, and I love that. I guess another question would be kind of what would kind of just like maybe just like a day in the life. Like if we're working as like a dog walker, um, what is like a typical day in that job? Is it your usual like kind of 9 to 5, or is it more flexible? Is it kind of like more freelance work, almost like if you were doing like a ride share or something like that?
Yeah.
What does that kind of daily work kind of look like?
Yeah. So when you're first getting, answer it in two ways. I'll answer it for your getting started as a dog walker, and I'll answer it for a seasoned because it looks very different, right? So for once you're getting started and say you come and work for a company like me, we're building your business out, right? You're getting all the new clients that are coming in. And so a day in the life would be maybe you might have two or three, maybe one or two consultations on your schedule. Probably more like one consultation where you go meet a new client with your team manager. Because in my field, we don't allow any of our team members to meet any prospective clients without a secondary person, just for safety reasons. So you would have a consultation on your schedule to meet on a new client. You may have a 30-minute dog walk 2 blocks from your house, and then another one 2 blocks further down, and then you might have a break for 4 hours, and then at the end of the day, 4 o'clock, you can come back and do a couple other walks. That's when you're starting off, so there's a lot of gaps. Some of my more seasoned dog walkers is more 8 to 5, and the peak time that most people need their dogs walked is between 12 and 2, because most people will walk the dogs in the morning and head off to work, but midday nobody's there to let them out or give them their midday snack. So that's when it's peak time for all of my dog walkers. So they're back to back. My seasoned dog walkers have anywhere from like 25 to 30 services a day. So they are like back to back. And so very busy day, but it ends up being more of an 8 to 5. And then we do have some pet sitting visits that require some later visits, but that all gets, and then again, we have a team of almost a dozen employees. So that gets divvied up between based on your demographic, who's closest to that client, who's able to accommodate the schedule that's they're requesting. So it can look very different, but I will definitely say it is very flexible and you can build out your schedule. So, and then we always do a window. So say they want a 12:30 walk, we always give them a 12 to 2 block. So they have within, or like a 12 to 1 block. So they have within that time frame. So you're not looking at the time like, oh my goodness, you're 5 minutes late. That's not the culture that most dog walking and pet sitting. So if you like that kind of flexibility and build out your schedule, that's definitely a good way to do it, is in this dog walking pet sitting route.
We did have a question, but I think they must have gotten kicked out or something. They have their hand up, but I think we'll just kind of, unless they log in, they have their hand up. All right, that's okay. So what advice would you give to your high school self? That's one I always ask, and the students really love that one. What advice would you give to your high school self trying to figure it out, right?
Trying to figure it out. I would definitely say, I would tell my high school self is not to limit myself based on my age, because so many people think, oh, you're still in high school, you're only 15 or you're only 18. No, I have a 10-year-old right now that's working on her own business plan right now to start her own business, right? And she's 10, but or 11, and I cultivate that environment. So no one is too young to have incredible ideas, but don't be afraid. So one, don't limit yourself, and don't be afraid to step out, because some stuff's gonna work and some stuff is not. Some things will fail, but you'll never get to your gym that's going to make you happy until you actually step out and do it without limiting yourself. Don't feel like you're too young, or I don't have a degree, or I don't have the experience. That's nonsense. You are completely capable. And I tell everyone, find a problem, see a problem, find a problem, build a solution. And and there's problems that need solutions everywhere around us. It's just a matter of you finding it and being passionate and falling in love with that problem and then your solution will organically come.
I love it. I love it. Just kind of one more question.
Yeah.
So we work with homeschool, primarily the homeschool population, and so a lot of times there's conflicts in schedules. So it's very common that we'll only have like 3 or 4 come to this, and then we'll have 50 or 100 watch the video later on, and then
Yeah.
have all these questions. Now, we won't send you 50 students, I promise. Like usually what we've done in the past is Blake and myself will just kind of have the students gather a list of questions, and then I would email you. Would that be okay if
Oh my gosh, I would love that. I would absolutely love that. And I'd be happy to answer those questions. And this is what I do. And you know why I love doing this is even though I'm not the one doing the actual dog walking or dog training, I'm leading a group of amazing people that are passionately doing what they love, what they wake up and find so much joy and fulfillment with. I am just the one behind the scenes that, like I say, I try to make magic happen for them, right? So you could either be the business owner on the forefront or on the back end, or the pet professional on the front end. So either one, they hand in hand are just as valuable.
Love it. I love it. Thank you again for sharing time out of your
Yeah.
busy schedule. A
It's
true
okay.
a true Wonder Woman, right? Blake is a Wonder Woman. And your insights into the pet industry has been super helpful for our student population. I'm going to turn it over to you, Blake, to kind of close us out and share our next speaker coming up.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. So, thank you, Sandy, for coming and taking time out of your busy schedule again, also to be here. Really appreciate it. Again, I know a couple of my students who had some other obligations, but I know they were really excited when I told them in class.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to getting this video over to them and seeing what questions they have. But so, thank you again. Really, really appreciate it.
Yeah,
And
of course.
and we also have some 2 really other cool speakers coming up. One talking about kind of construction. He makes concrete table games for like parks. So concrete table tennis, like in parks, things like that can kind of be out there for all types of weather. And then we also have somebody who does YouTube and as well as like Uber and Lyft, like rideshare stuff. If you're watching this on our YouTube, watching this back, make sure you check out those videos, and everybody else who's attending, go ahead and wait. 2 o'clock, we get our first one, and then 3 o'clock for the next. So thank you, everybody watching, and thank you again, Sandy, for being here.
Of course.
We'll see everybody in the next one.
All right. Bye, everyone.